Once dogs were not cute best friends. They were nightmares in the dark. Imagine the ice age. It is freezing. The wind is sharp. A small group of humans sits around a fire, trying to stay alive. Beyond the firelight, everything is black. And somewhere in that darkness, something is moving. Wolves. For ancient humans, a wolf was not a fluffy animal. It was danger with teeth. Wolves were fast, patient, and terrifyingly good at hunting. They had powerful jaws, sharp noses, and eyes that worked in the dark much better than ours. If you heard wolves howling at night, it did not feel magical. It meant, keep the spear close. And yet somehow, out of all the wild animals humans met, the wolf became our closest companion. Not the monkey, not the deer, not the bear, thankfully. The wolf. Today, dogs sleep on couches, guard homes, find missing people, guide the blind, herd sheep, wear birthday hats, and look at us like we're the most important thing in the universe. But dogs were not planned. No ancient tribe sat around a fire and said, let's invent a fluffy creature that brings sticks, steals socks, and fears the vacuum cleaner. Dogs happened by accident. And the strangest part is that wolves may have made the first move. To understand how, we need to go back tens of thousands of years. Humans lived in small groups, constantly moving across huge landscapes, searching for food, hunting, freezing, and trying not to die from everything around them. Life was brutal. Most hunts failed. Winter could kill. A broken leg could be a death sentence. Food was everything. But even ancient humans left trash behind. Bones, skins, scraps of meat, animal parts, burned pieces, things humans no longer wanted. But to a hungry wolf, this was basically a free buffet. So wolves started coming closer to human camps. Not too close at first, just outside the firelight. Then a little closer, then closer again. The aggressive wolves probably got speared. The most fearful wolves stayed too far away and got nothing. But the calmer, more curious wolves found the perfect strategy. Do not attack. Do not run. Just wait near the humans and eat the leftovers. So the first almost dogs may not have been the strongest wolves. They were the most tolerant ones. Picture a wolf staring at ancient humans and thinking, strange, hairless creatures with fire. Dangerous, but they leave bones. Maybe I should behave. And it worked. Generation after generation, the wolves that survived near humans were the ones that feared fire less, growled less, attacked less, and tolerated people better. They got more food. They stayed closer. They reproduced more. Nature slowly started selecting not the most aggressive wolves, but the calmest ones. And over time, those wolves began to change, not just in behavior, in appearance too. When animals are selected for friendliness, strange things can happen. Their faces may become softer, their jaws smaller, their ears floppier, their fur patchier, their expression more puppy-like. This may sound fake, but similar changes have been seen in experiments with foxes. So at some point, an Ice Age human may have looked at the wolves near camp and thought, these ones are different. They are less scary. They do not attack. They just sit there and wait for bones. They were not dogs yet, but they were not fully wild wolves anymore either. Then came the deal nobody signed. Wolves got food. Humans got an alarm system. Because wolves hear things humans do not hear. They smell danger long before we can. They notice movement in the dark. If a bear came near the camp, the wolves reacted first. If strangers approached, the wolves noticed. If prey animals were nearby, wolves could sense them. For ancient humans, this was extremely useful. Imagine the camp at night. Everyone is sleeping. The fire is almost out. Suddenly, the wolves near the edge of camp become alert. That means something is wrong. Basically, humans had gained a living security system. No batteries, no cameras. Just excellent ears and a terrifying nose. Then humans probably noticed even more benefits. Wolves could help track prey, they could warn about danger, they could follow human groups during long journeys, and humans gave them food, firelight, and protection from other predators. That is how the partnership began. Not as friendship at first, not sit, not give me your paw, not who's a good boy. At first it was survival, but some of the strongest bonds in history began as simple survival. Slowly, the calmest wolves moved closer to humans. Their pups were born near camps. Humans got used to them. Wolves got used to humans. And one day the line disappeared. This was no longer just a wolf near the fire. It was our animal. It walked beside us. It guarded the camp. It warned us. It ate our scraps. It slept nearby. It became part of the group. Later, something even more surprising happened. Dogs began changing to fit our world. When humans eventually started farming and eating more grains, dogs gradually evolved to digest starch better than wolves. That means dogs were not just living beside us. Their bodies were adapting to human life. And humans changed too. Dogs learned to read our faces. They learned to understand our gestures. They learned to sense our mood. They learned to look into our eyes in a way that makes the human brain go, okay, I love you now. And this is not just cuteness. When humans and dogs look into each other's eyes, both can experience a rise in oxytocin, the bonding hormone. A similar system helps connect parents and children. So dogs did not just learn to live with us. They learned how to reach our hearts. Dogs also develop facial expressions humans naturally respond to. Those famous puppy eyes may have become common because humans were more likely to care for dogs that looked emotional and expressive. That means the sad little face your dog makes when you eat chicken may be an ancient evolutionary weapon. And it works. But this story has a darker side too. When humans later started creating specific dog breeds, we sometimes went too far. Some dogs became too tiny. Some became too flat-faced. Some breeds developed breathing problems, back problems, joint problems, and birth problems. We took an ancient partner and, in some cases, turned it into a design project. But even inside the smallest modern dog, a shadow of the wolf remains. When a dog circles before lying down, it may be echoing an ancient wolf instinct to flatten grass. When it howls, hides food, or twitches in its sleep, something very old is still surfacing. Inside every husky, that is easy to imagine. Inside every chihuahua, it is funnier, but still true. And maybe this is why dogs feel different from other domesticated animals. Cats live near us. Cows provide for us. Horses work with us. But dogs joined us. They sat beside our fires while predators moved in the darkness. They crossed frozen lands with us. They guarded sleeping camps. They followed us through hunger, migration, storms, wars, and new continents. And somewhere along the way, it stopped being just useful. It became friendship. Archaeologists have found ancient burials where dogs were buried carefully beside humans. And that matters. Because if ancient people spent time, energy, and space burying a dog, then that animal was not just a tool. It was someone. Think about that. People who were barely surviving still cared for dogs. They fed them, protected them, and kept them close. Not only because they were useful, but because they mattered. And all of this began with no master plan, no science, no command, no leash, no food bowl with a name on it. Just scraps beside a fire. A cautious wolf stepping a little closer. A human not chasing it away. Thousands of generations slowly turning fear into trust. And tonight your dog might fall asleep near you, snore loudly, twitch its paws, and have no idea that this friendship began tens of thousands of years ago in the cold darkness, beside a fire, when a wolf first decided that humans might not be such a bad idea. Source basis: your uploaded script about wolf domestication and the origin of dogs.